Hey guys, J-Dub here from Dub's Customs. Today we've got another truck that we saved from the scrapyard. It's a 1972 Ford. I can see some real potential through the 30 plus years of grime on this truck. So today we're gonna give it a bath and see what we really have. I don't think it's ready for the scrapyard yet. What about you guys? I'm here with my son Paxton. He's gonna help me wash this truck off and give it some new life. You ready, buddy? All right, let's do it. Ooh, we better get this body a little bit wet first.
What if it gets water in there in the actual pond?
It's been getting water in there for the last 30 years.
Oh, never mind then.
My mother told me someday I would buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven, you many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the hay.
So after spending about 30 to 45 minutes scrubbing on this old F100, I think we scrubbed every year that it sat in that field off. What do you think, bud? How's it look?
It looks perfect to me.
Well, there you guys go. Another one, not quite ready for the scrapyard. Today we're gonna be working on the 72 Ford pickup, show it a little bit more love, clean the interior out. We've been pondering over a few ideas, but what's sticking right now is going to be shortening this long bed into a short bed and make it a nice little sport truck. So first things first, get all of the junk out of the cab, see really what we've got for bones left. Start knocking out some of these dents. Everything is pretty superficial. The big thing is we don't have a whole bunch of rust holes. These little things here are a couple hours each to fix. It'll be looking brand new in no time. Let's get started. Love this old truck. Now that we got the old Ford cleaned out, I want to have a little talk with you guys. Don't ever do this to your vehicle. This just holds moisture. You can see how bad it rotted out underneath. This poor old truck would have been so much better without any of this. I don't know what they were trying to do. Make it last longer or protect it, or it didn't help is what I'm trying to say. But we'll get it all removed, 2 new floor pans, should be as good as new. Was a long box, and I say was, well, it's pretty obvious because I did a short bed conversion on it. Now, some of you guys might be mad at me for taking my long bed and making it a short bed, but that's what I do. And mind your own business. That's what I got to say about that. Let's have a look. I took 16 inches out before the tire, and I think it was 6 inches behind the tire. So it's actually a whisker shorter than a factory short bed would have been, because I felt the proportions were correct, you know, and that's what I wanted to do, so it's okay. Inside the box, still needs some finishing. Rounded up some headers, threw some paint on those. I really need to get all of the window glass back in because we have done quite a bit of rust repair inside the vehicle. There was gigantic holes here. Well, you can see now we have a lake. So I need to get the glass in so I can stop this issue. Same with over there. somebody put expandifoam on the floor, probably to cover some little holes, but by the time I got it, they were gigantic holes. So we fixed that problem. Since I started working on this vehicle, I have come up with a name, and well, this is going to be Project Snot Rag for 2 reasons. Number one, it's pretty obvious. Well, it's green. Number two, it's been a catch-all for all my extra parts here around the shop. So I feel like it's pretty fitting because a snot rag kind of catches stuff, I guess. But let's come around to what's under the hood. I don't know if I mentioned in my other video, but this truck had no engine. And since then, I've put an engine in that I've had for probably 15, 20 years now. It's an engine that has a lot of meaning for me and my friends. It was one of the engines that was in our first vehicles that we stomped around town in when we got our driver's licenses. So we've always hung on to it. It's been about 15 years since it ran. It was kind of semi-locked up when I started working on it because it sat for so long. Probably a lifter or something was kind of stuck, so I had to work it back and forth a little bit and lube everything up. Got that freed up. But since then, I've taken some time and I clear coated under the hood, painted the old Bronc motor, and I've got it sitting in here looking good. I do have a carburetor and distributor and coil and wires and plugs ready to go on. I just need a little more time is all. But hopefully before the snow flies, I will have this motor running. That might be, well, it could snow any day, so that might not happen, but I would like to see it happen. But there you guys have it. I'm making some progress. And really my end goal with this truck is, well, probably just to do some burnouts. Hear the old Bronco motor run again and have a little bit of fun, you know? Maybe at that point, we'll lower it down a little bit, put some rims on it. I don't know, we'll see. Again, budget build, so I've got to keep it on the cheap. But I just wanted to share my progress. And I know some of you are probably thinking, why didn't you make a video of short boxing the long bed? And I thought about it, but I figured you guys had probably seen 100 people do a short bed conversion, so I didn't want to bore you anymore. But in hindsight, I probably should have filmed it so I could show you the little tips and tricks and things that I learned as I did it. But if you want to see stuff like that, put it in the comments below, and next time I will do a little bit more filming to show you what it took to make this truck a short bed. It didn't take me very long. I did it over one weekend, so I was pretty happy with how it actually went. It's a pretty easy modification when you know what you're doing. But there you guys go. Project Snot Rag.
My mother told me someday I would buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer.
But I thought I would, spend the day working on Snot Rag, throwing the starter in, some plugs, maybe fitting the headers a little bit, getting a little closer. I want to do burnouts in this thing this year, so it's something that always keeps me driven, right? I love the old Bronc motor, and I want to hear it come to life again.
Right. This is the Bronc motor?
Betcha it's the Bronc motor, buddy. This thing has not been started in at least 20 years. So I'm kind of like, I really got a fire lit under my ass to get this thing going. So I'm just slowly, piece by piece, putting her together. Changed the plugs today, got new plug wires. We got a new carburetor under here. It's gonna run pretty good. When I did put this in here though, she was just about seized. So it took me a little while to put a little bit of oil down each cylinder, rock it back and forth, and get it so it would kind of rotate 360 degrees. But I got it. It was just lightly seized. But if we would have left it any longer, it would have been a lot tougher, that's for sure. I bet you at best it had 5,000 kilometers on it.
Oh,
now, I don't know why it was lightly stuck. I'm thinking rust ring, but I eased it around and it did, you know, it cleaned up. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, a couple of revs and she'll be cleaned right out and ready to rip. So I'm hoping that within the next, you know, month or two, a guy could at least go out in front of the shop and do a few burnouts.
You still got the headers and such?
I do, yeah. Okay. No, I didn't throw that stuff away, bud. I keep this stuff. I cherished this motor.
Yeah, it's fun that it's got to be over 25 years, bud.
I know. Like what? Yeah, we've been friends since we've been 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Some would say too long.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say, well, I guess. Yeah, you are hard to deal with sometimes. But, you know, it's got tons of our history.
Yeah.
So this is a motor that I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
Remember, it always had that, like, I swear it had a leak in the tank. Remember, I always had air bubbles coming up through the filter?
Yeah, it did.
I'm sure the pickup tube in the tank must have had a pinhole in it. And so I think it constantly was getting air. You know, whether it affected it how it ran, like it ran pretty good, but I'm hoping, you know, we put a new tank in it, run some new lines, solve that issue. Like, will it give it more power? I don't know. I doubt it, but you just never know. I'd like to think so.
It'll have no problem lighting up the tires.
No, not in this light little truck. No, I'm pretty stoked on it. I want to get her all looking good, and you know, I've been dying to get it in something for years. And when Snot Rag came into my life, I figured, you know what, this could be the opportunity to stuff something in it, and you know, it happened to be the Bronco motor, and now it's just going to live its life doing burnouts, hopefully. I'm sure that this old truck is a one-tire fire. I'm going to have to put a posi unit in or something, but at least it has the 4 9-inch in the rear, so I can just go and find another third member, pop that in there, and then we'll be really smoking up the world. So Snot Rag's kind of been a catch-all for all the extra parts that we have lying around the shop. Some of you may have noticed that those rims look an awfully lot like the rims on our orange van over there. Well, they're not the exact rims, but they are the same. They were laying around, and well, they fit. And they make Snot Rag look a lot better now, don't they? So my plans for Snot Rag this year are really just to get the engine running and take it out on a few cruises. I'd love to see it do some burnouts. It's an absolutely awesome looking truck and a great addition to our fleet here at Dubs Customs. And I really just want to get it out on the road. Hopefully within a month or so, we're gonna hear this thing breathe to life and hopefully roll some smoke off those tires.